You just got your asses whipped by a bunch of nerds. Nerds!
Welcome back to the Nerds Podcast, everybody. We are fresh off of seeing Scream 7. If you haven't seen this, if you haven't seen the movie and you plan on seeing it, you probably may want to turn this off right now because we're going to be talking about it from beginning to end, and we're pretty much talking spoilers. There is a lot of, I would say, debate about this movie right now. After the first weekend, it was a record-setting weekend financially, from what I understand. But it is getting a lot of criticism. But I've said I'm a fan of these movies. Would have seen this movie. I don't know if I would have rushed to see the movie in the theaters, but I remember seeing 6 when they had like released it on Paramount really quick. So I saw that one right away. But this one, I'm watching it. I watched it in the theater right away, opening day, because we were going to cover it, and we did the pregame speaking about the series up to 7, and now we're covering 7. But I'm being that Puba, you just binged all the entire series 1 through 6. I'm gonna let you go first.
Wow! Thank you for that honor, because I know that this is beloved by you as well. Wow, where do I start? Right, so I gotta say that the first part of this movie, and if I'm saying there's 3 parts to the movie, the beginning, the middle, and the end, the first 2 parts I thought were really good. I really did enjoy that opening scene. I want to say the guy's name was Scott, and he was so intrigued by it. And again, I was reading some stats that the amount of people that are into like crime stories or horror stories has more than tripled over the last couple of years, right? So people are more interested in the stuff. So the going back to the Stu's house from the beginning, from the jump as an Airbnb, again, just really good, smart stuff. We got the original writer for the movie, of course, from the first set of movies. Yeah, we don't have Wes Craven anymore, and I think that's where the thing kind of fell. You can tell that it kind of fell. It was a great climb, and then the bottom dropped out of this movie, and unfortunately, I was loving the movie up until the finale. I think that there were some great kill shots. If the trailer never showed the killing of the female, I'm hoping that I'm saying Madison is her name. If the trailer didn't show that original kill, that would have been dope. That would have been absolute fire.
Which one? Which one is this?
The one where she fell. She was again the first.
Okay, in the Airbnb. Yes. Okay.
And she fell. He just held out the knife. Again, just great stuff there. And there were some interesting kills, of course, throughout the movie. I do have a favorite when we'll talk about that stuff. But as a person that's seen all of these movies and like just everything is just kind of fresh in my head, this is the worst one. Unfortunately, Scream 7 is the worst of 1 through 7, and strictly because the ending dropped.
Well, that's the debate that I was alluding to earlier. Is that it like you said, the bottom dropped off. I thought it was good up until the reveal. The reveal at the end, the kills, a lot of the kills were really, they upped it. They went up a notch with the killing here. The guy Scott, he got it. He got it in the temple.
Did you see his eyeball? Like the
yeah. You talked about how his girlfriend got it. That we saw it in the trailer, and trailers for me, I think sometimes they show too much because. Like you said, it would have been better had you not known that was coming, because that was pretty cool the way he just turned over at the last minute and she kind of fell on the knife. That scene, the opening scene, was awesome. They went by themselves, and the motion sensor on the Ghostface. Oh, that was a lot, but it was a great scene, great way to open it. One of the better openings of the movies of the entire movie series. That was a really good opening. Like we discussed already, they had some interesting different kills. We'll get into. I have a feeling I know which is your favorite one.
Absolutely.
But the one that, like you said, the bottom dropped off was the reveal at the end. And that's what happens. It sucks where you have 7 movies, and what you're known for is kind of tying the killer to the main character, tying them to Sidney. The first 3, of course, were her illegitimate brother, her ex-boyfriend's mother, and then of course her boyfriend. And the conspiracy theory is that Billy and Stu were together. That's the conspiracy. But again, those 3 were linked to her. Even the 4th one, it was her family member. Jill, I believe was her cousin or something like that.
Correct, yeah.
So, and then you go to 5, they kind of tried to reboot it with Melissa Barea, with Jenna Ortega. They tried to reboot it, and they had a link for them as well, and we discussed that as well. Billy Loomis's illegitimate daughter, so she's taken over the mantle, and then they go back to this. Now, some more history behind what's going on behind the scenes for this movie. They were supposed to come back for this 3rd one. This was supposed to be another trilogy, and she was let go. We won't get into that, but
they spent $500,000, Pete, on the
rewrite. Yep.
Yeah.
Oof. And they had to give Sidney more, Nev Campbell, they had to give her more money because that's why she didn't do 6, because she wasn't getting paid enough. So of course that plays into the reveal. The reveal was a big, what is this for me? I was like, what is going on here? There was no shock value here. Yeah. There was none. But that's because when you're used to everything being linked to Sidney, this was a link, but it wasn't as strong as the other ones. And when you kill everybody off, you don't have anybody else to kind of, the only way I guess there would have been some shock factor if it was Gale.
Yeah.
That's the only way.
And I wouldn't have a problem if they had killed Gale, because it seems like
no, not killed Gale. If it was Gale who was Ghostface.
Oh no, I wanted them to kill Gale already. Because it seemed like her throughout these movies, she was getting kinder and she cared, like just the way she cared for Tara and Mr. Brea and Ortega's character. But she was a little bit of a bitch when she was interviewing Sidney. I kind of going at her and digging at her. So like she's not getting any better. She's the same person from 1. There's 0 story arc there for her. I would have been okay if they murked her in this movie, because what else is Gale gonna do? I mean, you have the whole AI thing, and you could attach it to when they showed Dewey and some of the other older characters. Billy's mom came back. That was great to see as well. But if it was Gale and she had died, I would have been okay with it. I would have been okay.
She's the only one who's been in every single movie.
Yeah.
But from what I understand, the plot was supposed to be Sam, Melissa Barrera's character, was supposed to finally embrace her dark side and become Ghostface. That's what I read. I don't know how true that is, but that's why we had to get this massive rewrite, because they were about to start production and then she got let go. And the wheels fell off because then Ortega dropped out, and then the director wasn't coming back. So they just kind of pivoted back to Sidney. But they are talking about Scream 8. Potentially.
It's made money, bro. It's made money.
It made money. It was a great weekend for them. I think they're going to start shooting in the fall. But, you got to come with something better. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, the ending was a disappointment, but everything else was pretty good, I think. The kills were really creative. The girl swinging back and forth, he completely spiced her up.
Oh, that was brutal. That was brutal.
And what's crazy is it seems like he's having fun with these kills because he got creative. And I already know which one is your favorite, but go ahead.
Guess it. I want you to guess it.
The beer tap.
Absolutely, 100% the beer tap. I want to say the guy's name was Lucas, right? Because he was the one that was
Our son.
was a big fan. Was a big fan of all the murder mystery type of things. He was definitely into it. But the beer and the blood just coming out of his mouth was fantastic. It was great. Again, I don't care. We can get onto the hypothesis that they're not strong enough to lift someone and put their head through. You can talk about all that crap. I love seeing it. I love seeing it. It was great. Second favorite was the swing killing. I think that was you're like, oh my God, she really can't do anything.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing you can do. But no, it was the kills were much more brutal. The visuals were absolutely better. The one thing that I just disliked visually was the video calls, the AI calls. They looked pretty cheesy.
Oh, the AI, yeah.
It looked pretty bad there, but no, the kills absolutely. Beer kill 1, swinging 2, and then I would say the Scott one, bro, through the head, and the way his eyes kind of shut close. I've never again, as much as I've seen a lot of horrors, I can't recall seeing that.
And that was the first one. That was the first kill of the movie.
Yeah, that was pretty brutal. You know, the fight with Joe McHale's character, Mark Evans,
yes,
that was pretty good as well. I did enjoy that as well. There were a couple of things that throughout this whole process. When it comes to the kills as well, what was annoying as hell was he's like, I'm here, you got 15 minutes, and I'm gonna kill these people. And that part I was not a fan of. And it became, I was a little more obvious about at least the first killer when the guy was at the psychiatric ward, and he was like, yeah, come check this out, come look at these pictures. Yeah, that part right there. that right there. Okay, he's one of these guys, because the HIPAA law at this point doesn't exist at the psychiatric ward. But you know, again, I'm not gonna say I didn't enjoy the movie. It was
cool.
It's a Scream movie. It's a Scream movie, but the huge plot twist that we're used to was taken from us. That's what I do believe happened for this movie. We got robbed of a good plot twist. And again, they did the writing late. Like they had to play in the fourth quarter and make up a good story. Hopefully with 8, you know, they do something that, oh man, that makes a lot of sense. But because she read the book, and then you got to think about this, Pete, right? So, and I know I'm all over the place, and I apologize to our fans for doing that. But what killed me was that they went to Woodsboro, burnt it, flew back, I guess, to California same day, because whoever did the AI phone call was like, I was hot last night or something like that, he said. And I'm like, wait, you just came from there last night and booked the first morning flight? How did that happen? Again, just kind of some of the things when I'm looking at consistency, because one of the things that Scream does, they tell a really good story. And it didn't connect for me, Pete.
This one was rushed.
I missed Jenna Ortega and Melissa Barrera. I missed them. Did you miss them?
Of course. Of course. And another one that was missing was Kirby. She was an FBI agent. And how do you not have her investigating this, or part of the investigation? I think they should have brought her back before they brought the twins back.
Yes.
The twins seem forced into this story. Like, why are they here? Now they're interns, and now she's gonna take over for Gail. That seemed like a side story that was like kind of like way off. But again, I think we're talking about the story being rushed, certain things being forced so they can meet a deadline and get this movie out on time. But yeah,
did you like? What was your favorite killing, Pete? What was your favorite?
It's the swing. The swing was I didn't see that one coming. When they showed the tap I was like, okay, that's where they're going. But when she's swinging back and forth, I didn't see that, and he just waited there, and that's brutal.
Yeah,
That
no,
was brutal.
definitely brutal.
It definitely had a feel of the first movie, like when they were showing shots of the town and she was running through the town. It had a feel like that for me when they were closing up because of the curfew. I got a little bit of a nostalgia there. You know, again, 30 years ago was when the first movie came out. But again, like you said, this is a good movie. This was okay. This was okay to watch. Will I watch it again to see if I missed some Easter eggs? I absolutely would.
If it's on, maybe I'll watch it.
If it's on.
I'm not gonna go look for this. Not for a second. How cool was it that she had a danger room? Like finally, she had a danger room, and then they leave it,
But she had always been prepared. I think in the third one, she was already off, not even trying to deal with this, helping people online deal with their own problems, issues, and she was like working for like a call center or a helpline with people. So, but she was off the grid. She was using a fake name. So she was already been down that road as far as being prepared. When I saw that, I was like, I'm not surprised she had it. That scene where they're in the wall, between the wall.
You like that one?
That was dope. The knife goes through. She bends it with the bat that she had, so he couldn't use it. But then he gets the poker for the fireplace.
Yeah.
Awesome. It was a good movie, man. That scene though was awesome. That scene though.
I just don't understand why they left the room. I'm still trying to think in my head. Why would you leave the danger room?
Yeah, there was something that I forgot as well because again, it's an intense scene.
Yeah.
But I didn't sit there and say, why are they leaving? I know they left for a reason because she was going to leave the door. She was going to leave Tatum there. And she said, no, I'm coming with you.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I see that portion of it as well now.
She was leaving for a reason, though. But she wasn't supposed to go with her. But
were you okay that they weren't kind of like troping horror movies this time around? Like they weren't making any big rules or anything of the nature? And
I'm okay with that.
Okay.
I know
but that's kind of what Scream does. Like, Scream does that so well that I felt that was, for me, that was a little bit of a miss of what they had previously done. But, I'm right now, this is me being picky when it comes to that portion of it. But they just do such a great job of troping some of these all horror movies. But again, we've never had. Well, we can't say that. Jason has like 10,000 movies out, so they could have done something with there anyway. But again, I'm just nitpicking at this point in time. Is it worth it? I actually enjoyed watching it in the movie theater. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, so did I.
I haven't seen a horror movie like that in quite some time inside the theater. You start thinking about what is it, Scream 2? You're in the theater watching Scream. But this felt overall, it felt like a stab movie and not like a Scream movie. That's what it felt like to me.
Well, again, just like her mother, all her friends are freaking dead already in one movie. They're gone. They're gone. So I'd be shocked to see them like come back. It would be weird. I mean, the twins are obviously going to come back, but they may have been attached to the project because remember, before Maria was let go, they were already the wheels were already rolling for the Scream 7, and then they let her go. So that's for the rewrites, but they were already attached to the project, which is probably why they left them in. I think Kirby not being in it just didn't make any sense. It would have made more sense had she been there, but being that she's in law enforcement, but who knows? Who knows what will happen in Scream 8? They got to do something better, but maybe they will do something better, being that it won't be a last-minute rewrite like they did with this one.
Yeah,
I think their backs were against the wall, being with the whole, getting Sidney back because she wasn't attached to the project, so they had to get her back salary-wise. So there's a lot going on behind the scenes, and they got it done. They have it. Look, people are going to nitpick it. People are going to think it's a great movie. People are going to think it sucks. But what matters is how much money they made this weekend, and looks like they made a pretty good They made a pretty penny this weekend, so you'll see. I'm sure you'll see another one. Hopefully, they can give us that surprise ending that they've given us so many times.
Imagine it. I got it already. Screen 8. You're gonna have Sidney and her daughter versus Jenna Ortega and Melissa Barrera. Tell me that wouldn't be dope. That's great.
It was like a WrestleMania thing, or
I'm just saying, think about it. What a great, right? If they if again, the hardest part, of course, in cinema is to keep any secrets, man. This is so hard.
Especially now.
If they said, hey, we're bringing back Melissa Barrera and we're bringing back Ortega, and we're also bringing back Sidney, and we're also bringing back what was her name? Isabel May, right? Isabel May was the actress. If they said that, all 4 of those coming back, and we're, just a little teaser trailer, we're not telling you anything, and you still get that arc where Melissa Barrera falls into that dark side, and she has her sister doing it with her. I love it. Cinema, guys. Sign me up. I'll write the story for you guys.
Well, if you haven't seen it, hey, if you do, let us know what you think. Enjoy it if you're a fan of the franchise. If not, enjoy the movie. It is like Puba did say, it was good to be in the movie theater watching it. A lot of people are trying to legally stream these things now, and they're not getting the numbers that they would like. So I think we should continue to support these theaters. It's a better experience, But also, everybody, thank you for supporting us. If it's your first time here, please give us hit that like button, hit that bell. Also, if you could subscribe and support the channel. For Puba and for myself.
The worst episode ever.